The last thing I want to cover in our introductory to summary statistics is how we can use the mean to calculate missing data values. If we know the mean of a data set and the number of values, we can calculate something missing by calculating the sum of all the values by multiplying the mean by the number of values and then subtract all known values from the sum of the values. So basically we're working backwards through our mean equation. And so let's look at what that looks like. If we were to calculate mean from this data set, okay, and in order to get 30, what we would have to do is add up 20, 20, 40, 60, plus our own known value of x. Since there's 5 data points, we would divide by 5, and that should equal 30. And we don't know what that missing value is, but what we can do is we have an algebraic equation. We can solve it. We can solve this algebraic equation. We can go ahead and add up and combine like terms in our numerator. So we get 140 plus x divided by 5 equals 30. Multiply both sides of our equation by 5 to cancel out the denominator. 140 plus x equals 150. Now notice that right there, that step that we just did, where we multiplied our mean by the number of values, that's what that first step was. We multiplied our mean by the number of values. And then our next step is that we are going to subtract all known values from that sum. We're subtracting 140, x equals 10. So our missing data value is 10. So if we followed those steps verbatim up above, okay, if you can't remember it, you can always work through it algebraically here. But if we want to work through those values, what we do is we take the mean and we multiply it by n, in this case 30 times 5. That gives us 150. And then we take our sum and subtract the sum of all the known data values x. So 150 minus 20 plus 20 plus 40 plus 60. Let me write that a little neater. 20 plus 40 plus 60. We subtract all of those values, and we still end up getting x equals 10. So either way you want to approach it, you can approach it intuitively by using our mean formula and calculating it on your own, or you can remember this process here. I don't like trying to remember new things, so I would probably stick with this, but you're more than welcome. This would be a little bit faster if you can remember the steps. And then next we have the number of points that Marco scored in the last game. If Marco didn't remember how many points he scored in Game 2, but his coach tells him he averaged 10 points, how many points did Marco score in Game 2? So it's the same idea. We want to add up all of these data points, and when we do, we get a sum of 52. And so we know that x plus 52 divided by the number of data points, 6 games, has to equal his mean. So we multiply the mean by the number of games. 42 equals 60. Subtract 52, and x equals 8. So in Game 2, he scored 8 points.